Hello, this is not a spring chick. And have you ever heard that saying that any day at a golf course is better than a day at work? Well, I'd say the same thing about a bikini, because any day you can wear a bikini is a great day. But for now, we'll bring oldecam on for comments on the headlines of that cap of yours that you have on, Life and Death.
Yeah, it's perfect. I mean, it's also, so I also, you can tell it's used a lot by all this, the discoloration on it.
Democrats say they're being attacked over Obama's historic win.
Yeah, that the Justice Department took a dive before the election and didn't do their job because they wanted a black president. So,
and the bad part is everybody knows they did.
And now they're doing their job, so they're basically they're threatening to fire everybody that's involved in this mess now. Not the bad guys, they're threatening to fire the FBI agents for being involved in it.
Oh.
And there is no truth to the rumor that it goes clean up to Obama.
Well,
absolutely no truth to the rumor that it goes clean to Obama.
Well, I mean, they always blame everything on George Bush, so now on this one.
But BS says there is no truth that that leads all the way to Obama.
In the face of terrible business news, the stock market continues to rise. Explanation, pigs also fly.
BS is big.
Massive riots cripple Greece's main cities.
Oh, I mean, okay, they're holding the kid's funeral today. There's nothing unusual about police officers shooting down people. But they're just using it. The country's broke. They're declining power, and so they're rioting.
Will Al Gore return to the executive branch?
Absolutely. He's going to be made the environmental czar.
Why are they calling them czars now? Like the car czar and the environmental?
Because a czar is an absolute ruler. I mean, like like the czar of Russia.
I know, that's what it reminds me of. Well, we knew we'd be seeing Al Gore again.
Yep.
And he positioned himself perfectly for that one.
He's getting ready to run for president again then.
Oh, is he?
If he becomes a government official, he's planning to run for president. That's a signal.
Illinois Governor Blagojevich, major Obama supporter, has been arrested on charges of conspiring to sell Barack Obama's open Senate seat.
Yeah, and among other things, one of Barack Obama's biggest supporters. But okay, folks, this is how they do business in Chicago. They don't care if it's legal; they just do it because if they do it, then it's right.
It's the end justifies the means.
Remember, Ron Howard is pushing the Nixon-Frost movie right now, where Nixon says that, I'm the president and therefore I cannot do wrong. In Chicago, every politician figures that they're above anybody else and can do anything they want to do. So Nixon was way behind the curve on that bit of material.
Pakistan refuses to hand over Mumbai bombing suspects to India.
That's because they might tell people in India who was behind it, like the secret police.
Ah. Jay Leno on at 10.
I know. Okay, they have figured out how to keep Leno, how to keep production costs, and basically screw Conan O'Brien.
I know. I think everybody wins except Conan.
Conan is the loser. Conan is still in the number 2 slot, but they figure
he's still getting the 11:30 spot like they promised him.
Yeah, but they're giving the 10 o'clock spot across the country to Jay Leno, which is prime time talk show, and it should bring in tons of money for the network, but it basically wipes out. Basically, I heard David Letterman. He thanked NBC for the great lead-in they're giving him. Well, because Leno makes a point of attacking Letterman continually, because he can't. How does that man get all of these Emmys? How does he get these Peabody Awards?
Well, because
he doesn't have an audience. Well, he will now with Leno as his lead-in.
I know. It's like a setup.
Yeah.
Florida governor bills taxpayers $430,000 for European trip. Ooh.
Well, so he bought a lot of gifts.
Well,
And this one's a Republican. They were wanted to be a vice presidential candidate under McCain. He was preferable to Palin.
Sony eliminates 8,000 jobs as global downturn batters profits.
I wonder what CES is going to be like this year, because we haven't heard back from the people at Sony yet, have we?
No, and they are supposed to be having their press conferences. And also Sir Howard is one of the keynotes, well as I think it's the Ford, Mullally.
Yeah, they're all going to be. Everybody that's business is tanking is going to be at CES, maybe.
Oh. Global Airlines set to lose $5 billion for 2008 group reports.
Yeah, because they're basically they're saying it's on fuel costs and the fact that they basically told people don't fly with us anymore.
Of course, this is the big one about flying, is the military jet crash in San Diego kills 3 on the ground.
Okay, as a flyer, I can tell you the first rule is you never fly your plane into a housing development or a school or shopping center. You basically, he was 2 miles from the airport, said you sit there and you sit there and put your arms out and flap, but you never land your plane, crash it into something like that. I mean, the guy is, I mean, they won't court-martial him, but he is finished as a pilot.
Yeah. Confessions. Oh, I did do that. The Gitmo trials. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. You get off on sometimes.
Yeah.
Blackwater shootings case moved to Washington, D.C.
Yeah, in violation of their constitutional rights. They moved it there because there's a strong anti-government judiciary in Capitol, which is funny.
Really?
They don't like anything Republican. So they'll find you guilty. I mean, okay, Stevens of Alaska had a constitutional right to challenge the fact that his trial was being held in Washington when the crimes were committed in Alaska. These people surrendered in Utah. Therefore, they should have been arraigned and everything in Utah. Instead, they're being shipped back to Washington, D.C.
Yeah, why didn't Stevens insist that it was in Alaska?
Because they violated his constitutional right. They wouldn't allow him to challenge anything, which means it will be thrown out in the higher court.
Yep. Suspicious letter sent to at least 6 governors.
I mean, this is getting to be asinine. People send baking soda. I mean, I got one once. I got a package once that was filled full of baking soda. You know, and I said there, we don't open that package because you don't know what's in it. And they said, I can smell baking soda. So
that's what good smellers are for.
Yeah.
Calling in gay to work is the latest form of protest.
Okay, they're wanting to show that you cannot, this country cannot exist without them working. The problem is most of the people in this country are gay, don't want people. The guys that are doing all of this stuff in San Francisco, the Gay Pride Week, New York, most of them aren't gay.
Well, they just want to be treated like everybody else.
Yeah.
Most of them.
They don't. Well, most of the people I know basically want this to go away because their neighbors were happy. They're, basically, okay, you want to take my son, for the Boy Scout thing for the weekend? Okay, I don't care. Now they don't want the neighbor anywhere near the kid because they think that, well, maybe he's looking at him for a marriage mate now.
Oh, boy.
That's what it's done to the relationships in communities.
Former Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac execs to testify.
Well, yeah, most of them were not the most honest people. But still, they basically didn't do anything that anybody else wasn't doing. So the trick is there are rules, and if you don't pay attention to whether somebody actually is working, there was no obligation for actually working to get a loan.
Oh, maybe that was part of the problem.
Yeah.
Obama seeks peace between new and traditional backers.
That's not going to happen. The people, the new people want things done. Now the old people want to keep the status quo.
Scientists find nutty risk reducer.
I know, if you eat
more nuts.
Okay,
I heard that before, though.
Yeah, the problem, they're good for you, but the problem is a lot of people have a problem with the chemicals that are in nuts and it's harmful to them.
Oh, and be careful because someone may be allergic to peanuts.
Yeah.
Court, no review of Obama's eligibility to serve.
Basically, that is also a lot of that. Because if the challenge should be held. I mean, they'll basically, if a guy spits on the sidewalk, they'll hold a court hearing over the spitting on the sidewalk. But a minor little thing like he may not be constitutionally eligible to be president, well, that's no big deal.
A Monty Bubbleism from the Mark Twain of the Animal Kingdom.
Even though the Klingons, especially Worf, will be unhappy about this, there's no glory in death, there's only death.